Hi, welcome to week 3 and week 4. In this video, I will discuss about the week 3 and week 4 slides of fundamentals of marketing. First, I will start with the week 3. These are the learning outcomes that we cover in the class: the SWOT analysis and what is business plan. We have discussed the business plan examples and business plan report structures and modern business environment, in which, first of all, to make clear what SWOT analysis stands for: S for strength, W for weakness, and O for opportunities, and T for threats. Strengths and weaknesses comes under the internal factor, and opportunities and threats comes under the external factors. This picture has been discussed with the students to make them clear about what is basically the SWOT analysis, what it stands for, and what comes under the internal factors and the external factors. Then we have discussed about the strength and weaknesses, in which the strengths are things your company does well, qualities that separate you from your competitors, and internal sources such as skilled, knowledgeable staff, tangible assets such as intellectual property, capital property, and the technology. So basically, we started the discussions on the SWOT analysis about the strength and the weaknesses of the businesses in general, and then we move towards the definitions. And weaknesses stops an organization from performing at its optimum level. They are areas where the businesses needs to improve to remain competitive. A weak brand, higher than average turnover, high level of debt, or an adequate supply chain or lack of capital could be the weaknesses for the businesses. And then we move forward towards the opportunities and threats that are the external factors. Opportunities refer to favorable external factors that could give an organization a competitive advantage. For example, if a country cuts tariffs, a car manufacturer can export its car into a new market, increasing sales and market share. And other than, we have discussed the like what could be the opportunities for like we have discussed some names of the brands, and then we discussed about what could be the opportunities for this brand if it will not be successful in the particular market, so how they can expand their business into the other market to increase their sales and market share. So what could be the opportunities for the existing brands to enter into the new market and to target the new market segmentation? So this is how a company can grow its business, and how they can identify the opportunities in the environments that are available for the businesses to make the improvement in sense of increasing the profits, increasing the market share, and to maximize their sales revenues. And then threats refers to the factors that have the potential harm to an organization. Like what could be the external factors are present outside of the organizations that could be a threat for that company. For example, a drought is a threat to a wheat producing company, as it may destroy or reduce the crop yield. And for example, we have discussed about the companies, how the big companies during the pandemic of COVID-19 has been like drastically effective through this pandemic. And we were able to, the students were able to identify about some of the companies that didn't survive during the COVID. And some of them, they were discussing the companies from their own countries. And we have discussed like other common threats include things like raising cost for materials, increasing competition, tight labor supply, and so on. And there is a video on SWOT analysis that makes the concept more clear. And then in the class, we have conducted an activity on the SWOT analysis, in which these points have been provided to the students, and they are required to identify those points which comes under the strength and what could be the weakness and opportunities and threats. That was the session last for 20 to 25 minutes, I think more than 25 minutes. And then we have discussed the activity answers in the class, and then we have studied what is business environment internally and externally. Internally, it comes the organization culture, their structure, and organizational functions. And these 3 points has been discussed in details in other lectures as well. And then the external factors best, like political, economical, social, and culture. And then some of the main and biggest challenges that businesses faced, like globalization, latest technologies, change management, and how they can maintain their business online, and the change management. These are the challenges, and we discussed that in the class, and these are the references provided here, from which these material has been taken to put on the slides. And this is the summary. Overall, we have discussed the SWOT analysis and about what is the business environment. And here is the points what we are going to cover in the week 4 slides about the sustainability, financial and environmental for business, and then an introduction to the principles of business finance. And now let's move toward the week 4 lecture. Of fundamentals of marketing, in which we are going to cover these learning outcomes in week 4, about what is sustainability and financial sustainability and its impact on the business, and the principles of business finance and overall business sustainability. This was the most complex but interesting topic. Then we have one by one discussed what is the sustainability, and then we discussed about the financial sustainability of the business, and in which we have discussed these 4 basic pillars of financial sustainability, like strategic and financial planning, income diversification, sound administration and finance, own income generations. And then one by one, we have discussed that 4 basic pillars of financial sustainability in detail, like strategic and planning, what it is. And then we discussed the income diversification, the second pillar of financial sustainability. And then we discussed the sound administration and finance. This is the third pillar of financial sustainability. And the fourth one, own income generations. And then moving towards the principles of business finance, in which we have discussed mainly 3 types of business finance principles: investment, financial principles, and dividend principles. And one by one, we discussed about investment principles and about the financial principles and dividend principles. And then we had a group activity on the financial sustainability in a class, and students were allowed to discuss about the companies in which they have been working and how they can identify about the financial sustainability of that company. And for those students who were not working in any organizations, I have been given them few names of the companies so they can search on their mobile phones, or so they can identify how these companies are facing challenges in terms of financial sustainability. And then they are required to answer these questions, like what is the difference between financial sustainability and business, and why business sustainability is important, and what are important factors that contribute to the business sustainability. Basically, we have narrowed down these questions into more specific content, like they just have to identify the financial sustainability of the particular company in a class, and why it is important, and what factors like could contribute towards that organizations to maintain their business sustainability. And then the 3 P's of business sustainability has been discussed: profit, planet, and people, how these things are important for the business. And there is a activity on the Moodle was available about homework activity that they are required to do at the home or before coming to the next session in week 5. And these are the references and the summaries about the sessions that being discussed in the class. And this is what we are going to do in the next week, week 5, about marketing research and marketing research tools has been communicated to the students in week 4. Thank you so much. This is all from week 3 and week 4.